In today's video, I want to talk to you about 3 ways to use alfalfa in your permaculture systems, your gardens, however, whatever you have going on, you could probably integrate alfalfa in some way. Right, the first way is obviously as an animal feed, and that is traditionally what it is used for most of the time. And that's kind of obvious. We grow alfalfa. It is high in protein. It is high in nitrogen and other macro and micronutrients. And it's happens to be a great animal feed. It's actually a perennial plant, and is great for those reasons for feed. But there's 2 more reasons that I want to share with you, and that's really what I want to focus on. But first, let me just show you. Okay, so you can see here, all of this is alfalfa that I've rolled out. You get those big giant bales, the round bales, 500 to 800 pounds, pretty massive. And what I was able to do is find farmers who were selling old round bales of alfalfa, and then just roll them out in my edible forest garden as a mulch. Okay, but that sounds simplistic, and it is. That's one of the beautiful things. But what does it do as a mulch? Well, first of all, it's, like I said, high in nitrogen and all that, so it makes a great mulch, and it really is essentially a slow release fertilizer. And what it also does as a mulch is it feeds all the microorganisms, and it happens to be very good for that. Even better than, say, if I was to get straw bales, for example, because of its macro and micronutrient profile. It happens to be very good at that, and so that's what I'm using it for. And I've done this before, so this is not the first time. And rolling out these round bales in our edible forest garden is a great idea. It brings in all that organic matter, all that feed for the microorganisms, etc. And it's worked really well for that. And I also was able to pick up those bales very inexpensively, $20 a bale. So you're like $20 for a 700-pound bale. Of course, this is alfalfa bales that are quote unquote rotten. They're like more than 2 years old. When you roll them out, you can literally see fungi and mycelium. It's this white web filament like stuff, which is mycelium in it, and so it's great for that. It actually has some of its own microorganisms embedded in it already. So again, it wouldn't be good at this point to use for animal feed, but it is great for a mulch in the garden. And and that's the idea. So I picked up 2 of those bales in this case, and for $40, right, $20 a piece, and was able to basically roll it out in this edible forest garden, and it's going to provide a good source of mulch and all that kind of stuff for a good amount of time, right? The last time I did this, I rolled it out, there was remnants of that thick layer of mulch, for almost a couple of years. And so it is here. And the way I look at it is I can almost not get enough organic matter in this edible forest garden. So it's a great way to turn a waste stream, that was a waste stream, into a resource. Now, the farmer literally said to me, I just need it gone. Okay, in other words, it's a waste stream and they needed it gone. Well, you can use it in your garden as a mulch. It's a great way to do it. And so let me show you again. This just shows you some of the areas. I just literally rolled it out through there, and it's going to provide a good amount of mulch. Now, the third way, so again, animal feed, and second is as a mulch in your garden that suppresses weeds, feeds microorganisms, provides organic matter for plants, etc. Now, it happens to be that a lot of this, you're probably looking at it and going, well, this looks like you're mulching the paths. And that's true, but the whole thing is right next to my productive plants, you know, the fruit trees, the nut trees, the berries, etc. So all, you know, it is integrated, yes, in the path, but also along with those plants. The third way is to utilize this alfalfa and turn it into a tea, much like you would do a comfrey tea or a nettle tea or a manure tea, meaning you're putting it in water, letting it rot, and you can do that via a couple different ways. You can just let it sit passively, or you can, you know, actively, you know, put air into it, right, a bubbler, something like that. There's different ways to make teas, and that's not what this video is about. But alfalfa can be used in that way, just like in an excellent mix. An excellent mix would be alfalfa, comfrey, and nettle. Alfalfa, comfrey, nettle would be a fantastic fertilizer tea. We often use comfrey and nettle to make teas, but man, if I could get some alfalfa and put it in there as well, that would be a great mix. Okay, so there's your three ways to use alfalfa to turn a waste stream into a resource and benefit all of your gardens. Okay, so I'll show you a couple more quick clips, and then that's going to do it for this video. So give us a like, and let me know if you've ever used alfalfa, or if you have other ways that you like to use alfalfa. I mean, obviously alfalfa can also be turned into the soil and things like that, but this is a perennial area, edible forest garden. We don't do any tilling in here. One last thing is be careful of the source. Okay, make sure you're talking to your farmer and you understand, you know, what they're doing, what they're spraying or not spraying in this material, to make sure you're not harming your gardens instead of benefiting them. So those are just some of the paths and the different things. And so we got autumn olive and comfrey, which I've already chopped and dropped. So we use that a lot as for mulches as well. And some apple trees along that trellis, grapes along here, and I'll show you this way real quick. So again, just rolling out a giant roll of alfalfa really aids and benefits an edible forest garden, and of course it could do so for annual gardens as well.